Welcome to iClicker. This video will show you how to run an attendance session and manage the attendance data after class. Before we get started, make sure you've already set up a free iClicker Cloud Instructor account and you've created a course. After logging in as an instructor at iClicker.com, click on the name of the course you want to run attendance in. Next, click Settings to customize your attendance settings so things run smoothly for you and your students throughout the term. In the Course Details tab, make sure you've made an accurate selection under the Course Activities section. If you're only using iClicker for attendance and not for polling and quizzing, Attendance Only should be selected here. Attendance is free for both instructors and students, so making this selection makes your Attendance Only course accessible without a subscription. Next, navigate to the Attendance tab. iClicker Cloud takes attendance by default whenever you start a session. If you're using polling or quizzing in your class, you'll see this option to turn off attendance altogether. But if you want to continue setting up and running attendance, just keep it switched on. If you're setting up an attendance-only course, this option won't be here. The next section you'll want to customize is alerts. If you'd like to highlight students who have missed a certain number of classes, you can set that up here. Next, auto run. This is where you can choose whether or not you'd like an attendance session to start automatically during your class days, rather than manually opening one up each time you come to class. In order for this to work, make sure you've entered accurate meeting times in the Course Details section of your settings. Some instructors like to open up attendance 5 to 10 minutes early, so students can check in and be ready to go when class starts. Finally, there's location. By default, iClicker does not require location. This means that students can check in for attendance without confirming their location. But if you do choose to require location, students can only check into your attendance sessions if they're physically in your class. In order for this to work, you need to pinpoint the location of your class. Select Require and Set Location for Attendance. This will open up a Google Maps window. Your browser may approximate your location, indicated by a blue dot, but you can manually select the location of your class by typing in the address in the search bar. You can then zoom in and adjust the blue dot so it's right where your classroom is located. Next, choose a location radius from the drop-down menu to define the range that your students must be in to check into your class. We recommend starting with a large radius, then working your way down to a smaller radius as you get to know how geolocation interacts with your classroom location. Some areas need a wider range than others. Remember, location setting is totally optional and only applies to students using iClicker Reef to participate. If you'll be running polling or quizzing sessions and have students participating with an iClicker remote, this location setting doesn't apply to them, as their iClicker remotes need to be within range of the iClicker base, negating the need for geolocation. Instead, you'll want to visit the Clickers tab. Then, you'll want to make sure that you've checked this box here that allows students to use iClicker remotes to check in for attendance whenever you ask a polling or quizzing question. When you're happy with your settings, click Save. Now you're ready to start an attendance session. You can manually start your attendance session by clicking the Start Class button. Then you'll see the Active Class Session panel appear on the right-hand side of your web browser. If you set up Auto Run, this would already be open when you sign into your course. This panel shows you how long your session has been open, as well as a summary of student check-in statuses. Now that your session is open, students in iClicker Reef will see a banner on their device letting them know it's time to join. When they have successfully checked in, you will see that information updated on the check-in section of the panel. You can also see a list of students who haven't checked in yet. If you turned on location requirement and need to temporarily disable it, you can do so by clicking this toggle. This is a helpful option if you need to accommodate a student who is having technical difficulties. Once they've checked in, simply turn it back on. If you haven't required location for attendance, you won't see this location information on the panel. An attendance session will run in the background until it's ended, even if a polling or quizzing session is open. It can be ended in two different ways. If you've chosen for attendance to auto-run during class, it will just end at the time you specified in your settings. But you can always choose to manually end a session, even if you have auto run in place, by clicking the End button in the panel. Confirm that you want to end the session. Once you've run some attendance sessions, you can view all of that data in the Attendance tab. This is where you can see attendance records for all the students in your course. If you ever need to update the attendance status for a student individually, simply click on the cell and change the status. You can also leave a note here. Then click Save. Now you'll see a gray triangle in the corner of that cell indicating you've manually changed it. If for some reason you need to delete a session, simply click on the session's name and then click Delete Session. You'll have to confirm it. Finally, if you want to download any of this data into a spreadsheet, just click Export. Then select the sessions you want to export. Thanks for watching and happy teaching!